My family was my world, my rock, until the day I uncovered a secret so devastating it changed how I saw them, and myself, forever. What would you do if the people you trusted most had been hiding the truth from you your entire life? I was 22 when I found the letter. It was tucked away in a shoebox, buried deep in the attic of my childhood home. I wasn't looking for secrets that day. I was helping my mom clear out the house after my dad passed. But fate has a way of finding you when you least expect it. Growing up, my parents were the picture of perfection, or so I thought. My dad was quiet but kind, the steady hand that kept the family grounded. My mom was vibrant, full of life, and the glue that held us all together. They were my heroes, my guides, and I was their daughter, the lucky one to grow up in their love. Or so I believed. As I sifted through the dusty boxes, I found it, a small yellowed envelope with my name on it. My breath caught. The handwriting wasn't familiar, and the envelope looked like it had been sealed for years. My first instinct was hesitation. Was this something I was meant to see? But curiosity is a powerful thing. I opened it. Inside was a letter, short but piercing. 4 words jumped out immediately. "I am your father." It wasn't signed by my dad, the man who raised me, but by someone named Michael, a name I'd never heard before. My hands trembled as I read on. The letter explained that Michael had loved my mom deeply and that I was the result of their brief but passionate relationship. He hadn't known about me until years later when my mom finally told him. By then, she had married my dad and decided it was better for everyone if they kept the truth hidden. He respected her wishes, but he couldn't resist writing this letter in case I ever found it. I felt like my world had collapsed. My dad, the man who taught me how to ride a bike, who stayed up late helping me with science projects, who kissed my forehead every night, wasn't my biological father. Every memory of him now felt fragile, like it might crumble if I touched it too hard. I stormed downstairs, clutching the letter, my heart pounding. My mom looked up from the kitchen table, her eyes meeting mine. She knew. I could see it instantly in her face. "You found it," she said softly, her voice a mix of guilt and relief. I demanded answers. Why had she lied to me? Why hadn't my dad told me? And who was this Michael? Tears streamed down her face as she tried to explain. She told me she'd been young and scared when she found out she was pregnant. Michael was a free spirit, a wanderer, and she didn't think he could handle fatherhood. When she met my dad, he stepped up without hesitation, loving both of us unconditionally. She swore it was never about deception. It was about giving me a stable, happy life. But I couldn't hear her. Not then. I felt betrayed, confused, angry. How could they make this decision for me? How could they keep such a fundamental truth about who I was hidden from me? A week later, I found myself standing outside a small, weathered house on the edge of town. Michael's house. My hands shook as I knocked on the door, the letter clutched tightly in my pocket. When he opened the door, I wasn't sure what I expected. A stranger, a kindred spirit, a mirror of myself? What I found was a man with tired eyes and a sad smile. He greeted me cautiously, as if he'd been waiting for this moment but was terrified of it at the same time. We sat down, and for the first time, I heard his side of the story. He told me about the pain of letting me go, about the life he imagined we might have had together, but he also told me something I didn't expect, that he respected my dad more than anyone for stepping in and being the father I needed. That meeting didn't heal everything. It didn't erase the betrayal I felt or the questions that still lingered, but it gave me perspective. I realized that family isn't always about biology. It's about love, sacrifice, and the choices we make. My dad, my real dad, may not have shared my DNA, but he shared his heart, his life, and his unwavering devotion. And while I've since formed a cautious relationship with Michael, my respect for the man who raised me has only deepened. Life doesn't always come with clean resolutions or happy endings. Sometimes it just comes with understanding, and for me, that was enough. What would you do if you uncovered a secret that shattered your world? Would you seek the truth or leave the past in the past? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if this story resonated with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us next time on Stories That Shatter.